Welcome to The Wall. Today, we'll be looking at some women giving the most toxic advice to other women on TikTok, spreading their misery. We'll see where this is leading women with this epidemic of loneliness, and how one woman tells other women the truth about how they are the ones ruining relationships with men. Your support is super important to us. Give us a like and subscribe to the channel. We're aiming for 150,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Share your experiences and advice in the comments. That's what helps this community grow. Turn on notifications so you don't miss any videos. Alright, let's get started.
You with your God complex, but you can't even make life.
Normalize letting incompetent men starve 2023. She made a full family meal for dinner that her grown adult husband then refused to eat because he wanted nachos, but refused to make the nachos, and then told her that if she didn't make them, he just wouldn't eat. I guess you're not eating tonight, then.
Stop it. Get some help.
This is an example of a woman who is lonelier than the sun at midday on a cloudless day, yet she'll give advice to a married woman on how to handle her relationship, even though she doesn't have one herself. So, she's giving advice based purely on imagination, which seems to be quite toxic. If your husband comes home and doesn't want to eat what you made, but asks, "Honey, can you make me some nachos?" Does that make him a bad husband? He didn't ask you to cook a 2-hour meal. He just asked for something you could whip up in 5 minutes. I think it would be quite easy to do for the man you love, who's coming home after a long day of work. He's not invalidating his wife's effort. Maybe he has a craving, ate something outside, or just isn't in the mood for what was prepared. But if you respond the way that woman suggests, it'll lead to an argument over something that could be resolved in 5 minutes. But, as I said, an unmarried woman can't understand that because her selfishness and independence, thinking only of herself, won't let her see beyond that. Brothers, misery loves company, especially when you hit the wall, because the wall doesn't forgive.
She is not withholding sex from you. I am a divorced woman. I will tell you why the sex has stopped and why the dead bedroom has begun. You remind her too much of her small children. All day long, she's at home, can barely take a shower, brush her teeth, or take a shit in peace without somebody screaming and crying. And you know what's interrupting her? A child having a fucking tantrum because his Cheerios fell on the floor, or he can't find his Nerf gun, or he put his shirt on inside out and he doesn't understand how to fix it. The world is gonna end right now. And so this kid is having a fucking shit fit. And as a loving mother, she's happy to be there and support him. But when your ugly, smelly, disgusting ass comes home from work and does the exact same shit that the 4-year-old little boy was doing all day? Sir, we don't find small children sexually attractive, so we're not gonna find you sexually attractive either. Your wife doesn't know how to say that because she knows if she tries to say it, your fucking little baby feelings are gonna get hurt. You're gonna throw another fucking tantrum, and now she's in even deeper shit and even triply more fucking unattracted to you. She doesn't have the nerve to tell you, and I will. You remind her too much of her children, and that's why the sex has stopped.
Fuck up, you crazy bitch whore!
It's well known that in almost every divorce, the man ends up losing. Believe me, I'm not pro-divorce, but in this case, I'll say the man won by getting away from this witch, because she's clearly missing a screw. I'm not sure if the divorce traumatized her, but she harbors a hatred for her ex-husband that goes to infinity and beyond. This type of woman who hates you when she leaves, feels happy to have left you, but then becomes miserable when she sees that you're not miserable. How is that, Mr. The Wall? Simple. Her ex-husband kept the house, the kids, and now has a younger wife who makes him say amen, both at home and in church. And she's miserable because she sees that someone else can be happy with the same things she had to make him happy. Maybe it's envy, anger toward her ex-husband, sadness. I don't know what it is, but the hatred is truly eating her alive. It seems the wall has taught her that the grass wasn't greener on the other side, that what she had was good, that she should have stopped denying her ex-husband intimacy, that she should have done what everyone in a relationship does. Focus on the good, forget the bad, write grievances in the sand, and let the wind carry them away. But she couldn't do that. She chose to ruin everything, and today her divorce gave her the freedom she wanted so much, leaving her in loneliness and, above all, at the wall. Because the wall does not forgive.
She is not withholding sex from you. I am a divorced woman. I will tell you why the sex has stopped and why the dead bedroom has begun. You remind her too much of her small children. All day long, she's at home, can barely take a shower, brush her teeth, or take a shit in peace without somebody screaming and crying.
What gets me about this mindset is how the fuck do we emasculate your husband to the point that you're using and dangling sex in front of him like he's a fucking child, and then get mad at him for acting childlike, and basically if he's not on good behavior, he doesn't get a reward? I mean, let's be so for real. At this point, some of y'all just need to start a fucking color chart, and every time he's on blue or purple, which is good behavior, that means he can get some kind of sex, because that's how y'all treat it. Women will almost never acknowledge the part that they play in it, where they manipulate a man by dangling sex in front of him until they win him over, and then once they get settled in and real life happens, she stops having sex because she faked her entire personality to win you over. Only then, later on, she can use it against you and say that you're controlling her through sex, that you're coercing her, that you're forcing her, that you're not emotionally available, you're rude, you're selfish for initiating, even though she set the standard to begin with. Oh, right, but, faking your entire personality and how much sex you want to have in a relationship just to win a man over isn't manipulative as fuck at all. Okay. And I don't know what woman needs to understand this, but if you're withholding sex to get your husband or your boyfriend to act a certain way, you're being manipulative as fuck, you're emasculating him, you're not making him happy in the relationship, and he's not going to do things for you if you're going to make him feel like shit. Okay, bye.
Absolutely. There's a proverb in the Bible that makes this clear. The wise woman builds her house, but the foolish one tears it down with her own hands. You're supposed to have the whole day to organize the tasks at home, and if you have a young child, there are ways to manage the mess they make. But if you're the kind of wife who, instead of discussing the problem, starts holding resentment toward your husband with the idea that he should know why I'm upset, then you start arguing with him over everything he does because everything bothers you, leading to a dead bedroom. That's why later on, you want to blame the man for being abusive, but it's you who started putting up barriers. It begins with the daily fighting, then everything starts to irritate you. Then comes the lack of contact, until it reaches the point of a dead bedroom. After that, it's just a matter of wanting a divorce because you kept building one barrier after another, making it harder for the man to return to how things were when the relationship was healthy. What's worse is that these women ruin their relationships and then start giving toxic advice to other women to leave their relationships, which leads to an epidemic of lonely women, as you'll see in the next video. There's not much to add here because the misery and sadness are more than obvious. That's why, after a divorce, they become miserable, because there's nothing more painful than admitting, damn, I was wrong. What I had wasn't so bad. It's like getting hit with a bucket of cold water. I want you to watch the next video from the author of the book Lonely Woman, who was once just like these women. Now take a look at what she has to say when she finally has a man in her life.
For a long time, I questioned if I would meet my person. I compared myself to my friends who had found amazing partners. Yet at 27, I had never experienced a satisfying relationship. Why couldn't I meet someone like they had? I became fiercely independent, took myself on dates, traveled all over the world, and built my own business. I surrounded myself with the things I loved and learned I didn't need to be in a romantic relationship to have a rich and satisfying life. At the same time, I began to see the cracks in my own facade. I had used my independence to mask the loneliness I felt deep within. I had told myself and others I didn't want to be with anyone, but the truth was, I did. And I realized that this didn't have to come at the expense of my autonomy and independence. I was allowed to want it. After years of dating, I decided to give it another try. 3 weeks after my 28th birthday, I met Trevor on Bumble. Our relationship has been worth the wait. He is everything I could have hoped for in a partner. I'm thankful for the years I spent as a single girl and the lessons I learned. Now I'm on a new journey, the one where I learn to share my life with someone I love.
And look how she ended up, happily married and building a family. I want you to notice something she said. I had told myself and everyone else that I didn't want to be with anyone, but the truth is, I did. That's why the whole, I'm strong and independent narrative often just covers up a deep desire to have a partner, mixed with the frustration of not having one. She was selling books about being a lonely woman and even had workshops on it, but she didn't really want what she was promoting. In other words, she didn't want to consume the product she was trafficking because she didn't want to hit the wall. But there's hope, my friend. There are women who eventually realize that men are valuable, even if it takes finding a good man or having a son to get there. Like the woman in the next video.
Ladies, I will say this all day, every day. Men are way more attracted to women who give them peace than they are to beauty, money, fame, status, anything. Let me explain. And listen, I know the majority of the people that follow me are women, and some of you might get a little bit offended by this, but it's just the honest fucking truth. A lot of women use the we don't care what men want, we're gonna be who we are, and we're gonna talk about our feelings. Whatever. You can say whatever you want, but then you can also wonder why you're not in a relationship you want to be in, or why you always pick the assholes. How all of your exes are toxic, but you refuse to look at the way that you act, or the men that you're picking. Because some of you bitches be crazy, okay? I read my DMs. I know how it really goes. I will tell you that men will be attracted to having a peaceful woman over having a beautiful woman. Quit trying to be beautiful. Just be a peaceful fucking place. Let them be honest with you. Let them play their fucking video games. Let them go out with their boys. I just feel like women want to control shit all the time. They just want to control, control, control. And men feel fucking confined. Like they feel like they're in a straitjacket all the goddamn time. And then you wonder why they're uncomfortable. They start going behind your back or doing weird shit. Because women refuse to look at this part of themselves too. Sometimes you bitches be crazy. And it's okay because we're working on it. But listen, you have to hear it sometimes. Because just try this, women. He wants to go out on a Saturday night with his boys to the bar. You just go, I hope you have so much fun. Babe, you look so good. Go out, have so much fun. Make it stress-free for him. And watch how fast he fucking comes back. Guess what? He's gonna go out with his boys and he's gonna be like, damn, my girl made me feel real good. I just want to get back to her. Men love peaceful women. They just do. They're attracted to peace. When they can find someone that can finally just be peaceful for them and it's not just someone nagging and bitching at them all the goddamn time, yeah, they're gonna want to stick around. I know men have their faults and they're kind of pieces of shit sometimes. This is just a video for the women to tell you that you're kind of pieces of shit sometimes also. Okay? Listen. We're all faulty. You know I fucking love you.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. A woman who knows how to bring peace to a man is one who will have a healthy and lasting marriage. Men are simple. Treat us well, give us some space, and bring us peace, and we will reward you for it. It's true what she says. When your woman makes you feel good, when you leave, all you can think about is coming back home to be with her. Sometimes, as a man, you even make excuses just to get home sooner, just to talk to her about how your day went. That's why I believe couples need to have individual spaces. Let that man play video games or go out to disconnect. He's got a lot on his mind and just needs a moment to escape from the problems. Even the Bible says, the wise woman builds her house, but the foolish one tears it down with her own hands. Stop trying to control your man. Stop blaming him for everything. Learn to give him peace, perform acts of service, and above all, take care of your man. A well-cared-for man becomes a protector, a provider, someone who cherishes and loves his queen. It really is that simple. We've reached the end of the video, but before we go, the questions are for you. Why do you think there's an epidemic of loneliness among women? What are your thoughts on the second woman who harbors that deep hatred toward her ex-husband? If you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. Your support means the world to us and motivates us to create more content. Stay tuned for the next exciting video from The Wall.